For decades, Alberta has been known as a Canadian economic powerhouse, thanks to oil. But today, that success story is under pressure. The boom-bust cycle hasn't just affected jobs or public services, it's reshaped the very politics of the province. And questions keep coming up. Is Alberta still in control of its future, or is the oil and gas industry running the show? And what is the cost of dependence on oil? Alberta's relationship with oil has always been a double-edged sword. When oil prices are high, Alberta thrives. In 2005, the province hit a record $8.7 billion surplus. Again in 2022, as oil soared globally, Alberta posted a $10.3 billion surplus. But every time oil drops, like in 2008, 2015, or 2020, the deficits return, services get cut, and jobs disappear. Alberta's net debt, once zero in 2004, is now over $93 billion. Over the years, Alberta has quietly spent billions subsidizing the very industry it relies on. Between 2008 and 2022, Alberta offered an estimated $2.6 billion annually in royalty deductions, tax breaks, and direct grants to oil and gas companies. Between 2020 and 2023 alone, oil and gas subsidies in Alberta totaled an estimated $4.8 billion. More than $50 billion in public support is estimated to have gone to the oil and gas sector since 2008. That's money that could have gone to schools, hospitals, or debt repayment. Instead, it padded profits, often during record-setting quarters for multinationals. In effect, Albertans have not only relied on oil, they've funded it. And while energy companies have recorded record profits, much of their risk has quietly shifted onto public balance sheets. Alberta's most recent approach to emissions regulation is the TIER system, the Technology Innovation and Emissions Reduction Program, introduced by the UCP government in 2020. The vast majority of TIER revenue, over $750 million to date, is reinvested into industry-led projects, including carbon capture, hydrogen, and low-emission technology. TIER effectively allows polluters to pay themselves, with limited net benefit to the public. In short, Alberta's oil and gas industry pays to pollute, but the bill largely comes back to them as funding. And behind the oil wealth lies a growing crisis. Alberta now has over 170,000 inactive and orphaned wells left behind by bankrupt companies or delayed cleanups. Estimated cleanup costs? Tens of billions of dollars. Hundreds of billions if the oil sands are included. Under the NDP, Alberta loaned $235 million to the industry to start addressing it. Under the UCP, that became the R-Star program, giving $100 million in royalty credits to companies already legally required to clean up their sites. Critics say it's a public subsidy. Supporters call it rural economic development. Either way, Albertans are footing the bill. But the question remains, why are taxpayers paying the price for corporate liabilities? Alberta's politics have become a reflection of this imbalance. In 2015, the NDP promised a new approach: carbon pricing, diversification, investment in public services, and support for the building of the Trans Mountain Pipeline. But the oil downturn, rising debt, and pipeline delays made voters nervous. In 2019 and again in 2023, Conservatives retook power with a clear message: stand up for oil, fight Ottawa, cut taxes. Premier Danielle Smith has doubled down, promoting sovereignty legislation, cutting corporate taxes from 12% to 8%, and expanding programs like R-Star. Between 2019 and 2022, Alberta's largest oil sands producers, Suncor, Canadian Natural Resources Limited, CNRL, Cenovus, and Imperial Oil, collectively saved $4.3 billion due to the corporate tax rate reduction. This substantial benefit occurred alongside workforce reductions. These companies have eliminated almost 3,500 Alberta jobs. For over a decade, Canada's oil and gas sector has received more than $248 billion in tax deductions and $16.6 billion in refundable tax credits. And Alberta played a major role in facilitating those benefits. While Alberta taxpayers continues to face massive liabilities from orphaned wells, infrastructure shortfalls, and underfunded public services. The result? A province more polarized than ever. Urban voters want services, accountability, and diversification. Rural voters want jobs, pipelines, and independence. But questions remain. Who's really benefiting? Alberta or oil? Are Albertans shaping their economy or just serving the oil industry? Despite global trends and economic warnings, the Smith UCP government continues to double down on oil and gas through tax cuts, subsidies, and stalled renewable approvals, effectively discouraging meaningful diversification in Alberta. Rather than investing in emerging sectors, Alberta's future remains tightly tethered to the fortunes of fossil fuels. It's not about boom and bust, it's about who pays the bill and who reaps the rewards. The truth is, Alberta doesn't need to choose between prosperity and responsibility. It needs a strategy that protects public revenue, ends subsidies for profitable companies, enforces environmental cleanup, and builds a broader economic base. That means finally reforming how royalties are collected, how tax breaks are granted, and how cleanup obligations are enforced. It means investing surpluses in long-term services, not short-term optics. And it means telling the truth. This cycle won't break itself. Alberta's future can be strong, self-directed, and sustainable, but only if we stop asking which party will fix it and start asking, who are they really working for? Alberta or the oil industry? Like, share, and subscribe for more straight talk on Alberta's future.